Have you ever looked at the American economy and noticed that everything seems to break in exactly the same year? That year is 1971. We've been told that life getting more expensive is just quote, natural inflation. But what if I told you that on August 15th, 1971, you were trapped in a financial experiment you never signed up for? This is the story of the Nixon Shock. To understand why things are so expensive today, we have to understand what money used to be. Before 1971, the world operated under the Bretton Woods system. It was a simple, honest agreement. The US dollar was pegged directly to gold at $35 an ounce. This gold standard acted as a leash on the government. If they wanted to print more dollars, they needed more gold in the vault, limiting reckless spending. During this era, the American dream was a mathematical reality. From 1945 to 1970, as worker productivity went up, wages went up exactly in tandem. One person could afford a home and raise a family, but by the late 1960s, that leash was getting tight. The US was fighting an expensive war in Vietnam and simultaneously launching the costly social programs. The government was spending far more money than it had in gold. Foreign central banks, led by France, realized the US was printing more paper than they had gold to back it up. They began a run on the bank, demanding their gold back. Nixon was trapped, facing a massive recession if he cut spending, or breaking the gold promise. He chose the latter. On August 15, 1971, Nixon went on television and temporarily suspended the convertibility of the US dollar into gold. That temporary measure is now 54 years old. Overnight, the US dollar became a fiat currency, backed by nothing but government decree. This removed the training wheels from the economy. Without the gold anchor, there was no limit to how much debt could be created. This is the pivot point where inflation history becomes a vertical line. Immediately after 1971, the Great Divergence began. Productivity continued to climb thanks to technology, but real wages, adjusted for inflation, stagnated. People poured money into assets like real estate and stocks to protect their wealth from the devaluing currency, pushing home prices out of reach for the average worker and causing the national debt to explode. You aren't trapped because you aren't working hard enough. You are trapped in a currency that is designed to melt. The Nixon Shock taught us that government promises are only as good as the assets that back them. When those assets disappear, the people pay the price through the invisible tax of inflation. If you want to escape the trap, you have to move your wealth from melting fiat currency into hard assets, just like central banks are doing right now as they buy gold at record rates. Once you see the chart, you can't unsee it.